Hello and welcome to Pisslo episode 6. We're here with Limit Testing, Pixie, Shiney, and our special guest for the week is Envy. How you boys doing?
Yeah, good mate. Yeah,
Doing well.
self.
It's happening.
It is. So,
Always good.
jumping into the weekly rundowns. Personally, I have not seen the games this week for once. Did any of you guys see the Iron to Gold games or want to touch on any of them?
I didn't see.
I didn't watch the final game, but yeah, I know the end game score, which is like a close game where at like the halfway mark, was it
Team Blackhawk and Defiance
Team
Gaming.
Blackhawk? Yeah, they kind of like did very well in the finals.
Yeah, I did catch half of the end half of that game, and from where I stood, where I tuned in, probably would have been about 15, 20 minutes in the game. The gold scores were actually quite even, and then it started to blow out once. I think it was Defiance. Were they blue side?
They were red.
They were red, yeah.
Red,
So
I
once
think.
Defiance took some bad team fights, the gold leads blew out. They threw some shutdowns, and then basically Team Blackhawk was able to capitalize on that and finish out the game. So well played for both teams from what I saw.
Well played indeed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I lost first round, then went and cried.
Yeah,
I remember
happening.
watching that stream.
it's been happening a little bit, hasn't it?
It happens quite a lot nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need Hirogi and Trash Can back.
You need to just piggyback off us again, I guess.
Off you. Hang on. I don't see you carrying anyone.
That's because Pixie's good enough that they don't need me anymore.
Okay.
They're lucky that they've found a suitable replacement finally. Kusho just ran it down every game.
Hey man, if you
He
just
did
ask him, he'll carry
80% of the work.
what
Yeah,
about
true.
Vaporwave?
80% of the work. Oh, we
He
don't talk
also
about
ran
that.
it down.
I don't know if we can include that.
Vapor did well in lane. That was just issues outside the lane though.
Fucking teleports.
Um,
Like PTSD.
Anyway,
It's a bit like Kusho if Kusho was mechanically good. Just sat top the entire game, just pushed.
Yeah.
oh,
We got Pixie now, TP's bot lane. It's great.
did you guys feel comfortable in giving an MVP for the game?
I didn't watch it. I'll have a look at stats maybe and give some
Okay.
of them.
Looking at the stats, it kind of seems like it has to be the Swain, right? From the bot lane position. 38% damage. You know, you're looking at 25k in a 29-minute game. You know, that's roughly what, 850 per minute in terms of damage to champions. Yeah, it just looks like he had the best time.
You also gotta keep in mind their AD carry role swapped to mid lane for the week, I think. So he was filling in mid lane for Team Blackhawk, and he honestly did pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I know Willie
Mm.
Toucher is a good player, so yeah. Are we saying Swain?
I'd have to give it to Swain.
Yeah, give it to the Swain. I haven't had a chance to open the thing up yet, but yeah, just
I'm loading it up now, and
sounds like
I
you
mean-
guys made convincing arguments.
Well, yeah. I normally like to actually watch the games, but we did
Yeah.
take a bit of a break this week, so.
So this is I2G Gold we're talking about here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Bucking kind of ran it in that finals by the looks of everything, though.
He played Tristana, didn't he?
Yeah, with TP.
I mean that's fine. Taking TP in mid is fine, especially into a Mordekaiser.
you
Yeah,
just
but
take the guy and kill him.
Yeah,
yeah,
because nah,
I think the point of the Tristana pick is to
Yeah, you just pick it to
get it
snowball.
far ahead.
Just pick Ignite and kill him with Lilia.
If you're gonna play, you know, TP safe, you might as well play Corki, right? Like, it gives a lot more magic damage in the comp. I know they have Lilia. I don't know if you can see this yet, but the rest of the comp is mainly physical, and they need tank shred. And if he's not gonna look to abuse the early lane matchup into a melee champion using
Yeah.
Ignite, then why is he playing it?
If not the Swade, maybe the Urgot as well.
The Urgot did play really well in the team fights from what I saw.
Kind of popped off a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's for me it's out of Swade and Urgot. Personally, like I'm just looking at Swade's damage and I'm just thinking, yeah, give it to that guy. He's got high CS, he's got like 38% team damage.
Yeah.
Died twice. Yeah, you can have it.
Give it to Willie. Give it to Willie.
Alright, well, congrats to Team Blackhawk and Willie Toucher for winning BSV's Iron to Gold this week. What about Iron to Plat, fellas? I saw one of the games for this week. It was the Weekend Warriors Academy vs Sonic Boom game. I don't know if anyone else saw that one.
Nah. Nope.
No, I didn't see that one either.
Okay.
I didn't watch this week really at all.
Alright, well, did anyone see the finals? No?
No.
So
I
we're
was
gonna
thinking
go
about-
got our stats again.
The finals had something interesting to touch on, at least, is the finals had a free agents team in there.
Yeah,
it
but
was-
is it really a free agents team when you got Rain, Connor, and the janitor who are all really good friends? Like, it's named free
Yeah,
agents, but is
I
it really a
suppose
free
not.
agents
I know
team?
Rain and Connor play together. I haven't heard of the janitor guy before.
He should go back to fucking mopping after that scoreline.
Jeez.
Alrighty.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did kind of get shit on, honestly.
He had
nevertheless,
10 deaths.
yeah. Well,
It's
nevertheless, they
absolutely
made
fucking rare.
finals. That's an achievement.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
Sonic Boom managed to win with a new support and a new top laner, I think. Oh, not support, new mid laner and top laner.
The
No,
mid
that-
laners
or is
played
it-
with them before.
Yeah, the mid lane's
Okay.
played with them before. I don't know about the top laner though.
Well, the top lane is definitely new, right? Because Tyrannosaurus
Yeah.
Rex hit Diamond. Regia, I just know that they played for MCOM at some point.
Oh, he did. Yes. Yes, he did. He played for Jade Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he did play for Jade Dragons. He came in after I did.
Okay.
So he's your replacement.
It's more or less I left.
Hmm.
I tell people that too, Pixie.
I
Um,
left. There's no porn in MCOM.
yeah, well, there was a GIF war, and then Razy decided that he was disappointed in me. So
No gifts.
There's no gifts in MCOM.
no. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But yeah.
What about porn gifts? Are we allowed to have those?
Okay, going back on track, right? Do you guys want to give an
Alright.
MVP base or stats or whatever to Sonic Boom?
Yeah, probably Manu, honestly. I don't know if it's Manu or Man United. I've been told it's both, but yeah, that guy. Like 18 kills, 3
How
deaths,
about
37%
we
team damage.
I think it's
how about we right
Minutted.
now?
Oh yeah, true. Minutted, yeah.
My boy Manutted.
Manutted.
I
Jesus.
mean, we could just call him Manny.
Well, it depends if his name's Manu or not, I guess.
Well, I mean, I follow the EPL, and that's definitely Man United. But
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what I was thinking too. It's like that's definitely Man United as well, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Either way,
Um,
give it to him.
yeah, give it to Menu.
It looks like a team effort though, right? You're looking at 30 KP in the side of the mid laner.
Yeah, but then you look at damage and you're just like, oh,
He's playing
Okay.
supportive though, right? Like
yeah, that's right. So then the carry is the MVP, right?
not necessary. Hey,
All right, look, let's not get into this debate. This is a whole nother fucking like this is like the support not getting recognition for the bot lane kills. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've given support like a bunch of MVPs though when they
Yeah.
do really well, but yeah, I
But
think this
it-
is a news game. honestly.
it's hard to call a support MVP when you don't watch the game.
Carly had the better KDA, the higher KP. Dude, maybe he's the MVP. I don't know.
Did he get a quadra kill though?
He only had 3 kills, so he might have got a triple kill.
Ah, Manu got quadra.
Okay.
You mouse
Congrats.
over the thing and it says like what they got, like number of
can
killing
you?
sprees. Yeah, it shows.
2. He had a 2 on the fresh.
You got 2 triple kills, 4 double kills.
9
You got a
CS per minute
quadra.
as well. Pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Pretty
So,
good.
like, you got that kind of like scoreline in terms of kills, and you're also still farming. Like, yeah, I think that's pretty impressive in a 25-minute game.
Well, it definitely looks like they have a team to play around him, right? Like they got like the triple globals with Shen, TF, Nocturne all showing up in the bot lane, presumably.
Yeah, that's probably what happened, honestly. Yeah,
That's the 80 carries wet dream, eh, Shiny?
looking
It
at
really
Braum
is.
and Jinx, just I don't know how Yasuo died that many times, but that's a different story, I guess.
He was trying to get to his power spike, mate.
Yeah,
It was too
true.
late.
Him and Braum racing each other. So are we giving MVP to Minutted?
Yeah,
Yeah, but not an MVP.
Alright, congrats to Minutted and Sonic Boom. For winning Under Plat this week. TMG, boys.
TMG.
We'll cover Open first, alright? I don't know if anyone follows the Open scene and wants to give their predictions, but Ash actually predicted all the teams to win this, I think.
He did.
Like,
yes.
he predicted correctly, yeah.
Yeah.
No one else follows Open, do they?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, Weekend Warriors beat Exile, Team Ziz beat Era Black, both 2-0. Desire beat Monash Storm 2-0, and Dissonance beat Fake News Esports 2-1. So, we got Weekend Warriors and Team Ziz, which I've been told is basically the finals, so we'll see how that one goes. Hopefully Weekend can come out on top. For the Iron to Plat, I predicted TNS to beat Mage players. They did, and then they were DQ'd.
Technically, they didn't, but like, they may have won the game, but they lost the bracket.
Well,
I
I don't want to go too much into a TNS DQ since we've covered that plenty of times before. But does anyone know the exact reason why they were DQ'd this time? It was Ringreese having like a higher flex rank or something, wasn't it? Oh, not flex rank, peak rank last season.
I think it was because it was something to do with him being Diamond 3 in season 10.
The only thing about this situation that I can even care about is that like one of the TNS players messaged the League of Graphs to hide their data, and then someone from another team and one of the tournament admins messaged League of Graphs to ask why this guy's data is hidden. Like, what the fuck? Does this dude just have like a direct email to him or something? Why is everyone DMing the owner of League of Graphs? Leave the man alone.
Yeah, so this is gonna be feeding into my next idea, where I'm gonna go get Spren and a bunch of other challenger players, and we're gonna make a team. And then I'm gonna get the League of Graphs guy to hide all the fucking data of their Smurf accounts so they won't know where they peaked, and then we'll just win every Iron to Gold event ever.
Yeah, but you don't have challenger friends.
I can make challenger friends.
I'll just go talk to Swiper. We'll be fine.
I could buy them.
You can buy them.
No, yes, I could import them.
Buy my friendship.
Yeah, I'll just give them all. I'll just tell them that I'll help them get citizenship, and then they'll,
Citizenship.
Yeah, bro, they'll be happy. They can use me as a reference for their citizenship application. I'll tell the government whatever the fuck they want, man. Just give me my super team.
So what you're saying is you need a super team just to beat me and Iron the Gold.
I don't think we'd just be beating you. I think like every team in like the entire tournament like scene would be complaining about us. Except there wouldn't be anything you could like actually do because there's no info. But no, obviously I'm joking. But yeah, I think it's kind of ridiculous. You can just like message the fucking the site owner and just get him to like block your shit. Like that's
Yeah, it's very
pretty
weird.
next level.
Yeah, I'll probably be DMing the owner of OP.GG to give me like a challenger rank on there next. But yeah, so Resilience beat MCOM 2-0. I think we all predicted them, did we? I definitely did.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so then Pepimon beat Wildcard Aces and Sonic Boom beat Weekend Warriors Academy, unfortunately. And, I think all the games were 2-0 as well. So, Mage Players versus Resilience this week. Who's going to win? Envy, you want to start us off?
Well, not particularly, right? Because I know stuff you don't know.
Okay.
Oh.
My
What do you know then?
yeah, when is this coming out? Is this coming out after or before?
This will be before. So.
Oh.
Oh wait. No, it'll be after. It'll be like Sunday.
Okay, so who cares if we've lost by then? Right. So Griff went and hit Diamond. Right. So there's my star player gone.
Well, I mean, everyone knew that.
Everyone
Already.
already knows that part though.
Yes.
Yeah, but like in case people are living under a rock.
Oh,
And so
okay.
without Griff, right, that leaves, because I already benched myself, Kevi, Hirogi, Kayumi.
well, surely you come back now, right?
Not if I don't have to.
I think you do.
We'll
Who
see
else you
how
have
it
on your
goes.
roster?
Well, we can use people outside of the roster.
Can you?
One of TMG's many new rules. Because I didn't want more people, FFing and whatnot. As long as you give enough time, you can use anyone who's eligible.
Okay.
Oh, did you not know that?
No. Did anybody else know that?
No.
When did they say this?
It was in their announcements maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so as long as you give, I believe it's 24 hours notice, but I've left the roster decision making up to Kevi for this week. So I am yet to see what he's up to.
Well, isn't
But-
it like past the 24-hour notice part now?
Yeah, but he has connections apparently.
Okay.
So it's all
Yeah,
on
yeah.
him. If I somehow have to wake up and play, I'm a go beat up whoever the fuck I'm playing into.
Yeah. I expect that you will.
Yeah. But this isn't me running away from TNS, right? It's Neymar fucking me over and getting Griff Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Damn
blame Neymar.
Neymar.
That goddamn Neymar.
How dare he?
Alright, so TNS versus Resilience. What's the score gonna be?
Mage players versus Resilience.
Yeah, that's what I mean. What's the score?
2-0.
2-0 for Resilience.
No, Mage players.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
What about you, Love It?
Yeah, see, look, I am not 100% confident in that team now. Like, with Griff gone, it's like their bot lane, right? That I don't really see any evidence of their bot lane actually being able to just, like, 1v9 games.
Hey, Rogi's back.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think it's 2-1 Resilience.
Alright. Shiny?
I think it'll depend on Cavi and whether he brings his hands.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Some of the players he does are like either really good or like giga int.
Can we even call them players?
I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his hands that are the problem, I suppose. But like, I don't think he should be playing the Lee Sin and
No,
what other.
Jarvan.
Just go
Stop
back
playing
to
Jarvan.
like what you're good at. The Hecarim's been
Sejuani.
nerfed, so don't play the Hecarim. But yeah, Sejuani's a good, fine pick. Same with the Udi, which he's good at. The Morgana and the Zac are all good. Yeah, I just go back to those picks and play for the team, personally.
Yeah.
Did you say what the score's gonna be?
Did
I
I?
think mage players might get beat 2-1.
Okay, 2-1. Pixie?
Yeah, I'm gonna call it Resilience 2-1.
Alright, I'm gonna call Resilience 2-0 personally.
Yo.
I think the loss of Griff is gonna hit you guys hard.
Okay.
Uh,
Now, I let you guys make all your predictions first before I drop this other thing. You know Lawrence isn't playing, right?
I have heard.
He'll be out drinking with Lynx, apparently,
Interesting.
because it's Lynx's birthday.
Cool.
Yeah.
I still think they win, though.
I
did you
definitely
guys-
think they're worse without Lawrence, but yeah.
For sure.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I still think they win.
Lawrence is a fucking monster of a 80 carry.
Yeah, I mean, maybe then that means your bot lane can actually, like, do something, but it's just lane phase, right? Like I feel like it doesn't matter that
Yeah.
much.
I guess we shall see.
Yes.
We shall. So, Pepimon versus Sonic Boom. Thoughts on that one?
Sonic Boom.
Yeah, Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom. What, 2-0?
Yeah.
It's hard because they lost Tyrannosaurus Rex.
So hard.
True.
Yeah, who was arguably their best player.
No, they still have Manu. They still have
He was
the mid laner. It's pretty
Yeah.
decent as well.
he was solid in the top. Like he was reliable. You could always rely on him not to die in lane, like get CS leads and all that sort of stuff. He did have a few flaws, but like it was easily covered up by his team. Like they played really well as a team. So I think if they, as long as their new top laner provides that same sort of stability in the top, they'll be fine.
They rarely played through top lane either.
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
him being gone doesn't really matter that much because like
Oh, I just think he soaked a lot of pressure from the enemy team in pick ban and in game.
Yeah, if they have a worse top laner, then that could become their weak point where that guy gets abused, dove, etc. And then they find themselves behind from that.
I do think Manu is a good enough like team fighting 80 carry to pull them back into a game. But it's just a lot more questionable now without Tyrannosaurus. And Lubu has clear weaknesses where when the team falls behind, he's going to randomly engage and probably cost you the game.
Yeah, personally, I'm still going to predict 2-0 Sonic Boom. I don't see them getting behind against Pepimon, but yeah, it depends who the top laner is. If it's Regia again, I think Sonic Boom will be fine. Yeah, so Sonic Boom 2-0.
I would say Sonic Boom 2-1 because Sonic Boom, every now and then they like to randomly troll or throw a game for no reason. I feel like that might happen.
I think that's mainly based on their draft, and they took draft serious last week against Weekend, from what I saw. I imagine they'll take it serious now as well, like just like being in a player format. I think they'll take the draft serious and not do the troll shit that they do in the weekly events sometimes.
Yeah.
Did anyone not predict yet? So I said 2-0, Shiny said 2-1.
We'll go 2-1 Pepimon.
2-1 Pepimon, okay. But you think who's gonna carry them?
Oh, I have faith in Connor out jungling Lubu.
Yeah, okay. Pixie limit.
I'm gonna say 2-0 to the Boom.
yeah, 2-0 Sonic Boom.
Alrighty then. So we had the patch drop this week. That means
Sure did.
it's time for Pisslo Pix. So maybe we start with the top lane. Pixie, what is your Pisslo Pix for the patch?
Mate, my big one, the one that I've been frothing for about 2 weeks now when I saw the changes, was Set. It is such a nice buff for him. Like, it actually brings him back into that top lane meta, like allowing him to be that top lane bully that he was always designed to be. Like, yeah, he's strong. Like, yeah, he might be able to one-shot an 80 carry with his W at full grit. But that's the chant. Like, just don't stand in the W. You'd be fine. Like, I just feel that pick, whether you're going the 80 bruiser type build with this stride breaker into the Sterix, that's a strong build. You could also just go straight full tank. You can go the Frostfire or the Sunfire build, and you still provide that front line for your team, that disengage / counter engage for your team, and then be able to deliver that true damage through to the team fight and chunk everyone. So I reckon that's going to be a strong pick both at MSI and in amateur tournament.
Yeah, alright. Limit, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. Set's definitely really, really strong. One champ that I think a lot of people are sleeping on maybe not so much in like competitive, but definitely in solo queue like and tourney games. Like Urgot, dude, like just that champ is crazy. Like he can go Frostfire, he can go Stridebreaker. You still pick up Titanic. The Titanic nerf really didn't really do anything, honestly, for Urgot. You lose like a little bit of damage if you buy the first item, but once you finish Frostfire or you finish your Stridebreaker, you make that up. You make that damage back anyway. And once you get your next item, you end up doing more damage. So yeah, I think the item's just still fine, and the pick's really still really good. Scales great into the game. Doesn't have many bad matchups currently. Easy to play.
Yeah. Well, we don't have Galaxybear with us at the present. So what about your pick, Envy? It doesn't have to be mid lane specific.
It is though, right? Because of course it is. I'm looking at Xerath, right? The extra AP ratio on the Q means you're gonna deal more damage once you start to scale. The same with the base damage on the W. Now I'm not really talking about competitive, but more, the low elo iron to play iron to gold scene, because there are some players who do tend to favor the Xerath. Most notably would be WKW Academy's mid laner Boo. He used to bust it out every like third game, and now with the buff, maybe it raises their win rate.
Yeah, fair enough. I forgot to touch on the jungle myself, but my Pisslo pick for the patch would be Kindred, of course. She's been buffed several patches in a row now, and she feels nice. Builds good, strong pick, especially into like a lot of the tank shit, and most of them have been nerfed as well. Yeah, I think you'll definitely see more Kindred played. Shiny, what about you?
My pick would have to be Lee Sin in the solo lanes. That champion looks pretty disgusting nowadays.
True. I think it was Pabu posted the clip on Twitter. It was like a Lee Sin top lane that steals the enemy's red buff level 1, then proceeds to kill the jungler while he's on the Krugs after not getting level 2 from his red buff. And then he goes and kills the Darius top lane as well. So that was definitely an interesting clip. Do you have any...
Watching the MSI pro players do like the boot camp and that, pretty much all the top laners and mid laners are playing Lee Sin and just abusing it. And they all have like crazy win rates on it as well.
Yeah, that was something I was going to talk about as well. Actually, yeah, Lee Sin's pretty nutty at the moment too. It's they go Emax with Conqueror, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Emax? Why's that?
Yeah, so the E cooldown got nerfed. Well, the buff, sorry. So like it's less. I think it lost like 1 second or 2 seconds in all ranks. So you can kind of spam it in lane. It has like I think it's like 200 or 250 range. So like it's longer than an auto attack. You don't take minion aggro when you hit anyone with it. So yeah, it's just kind of like free poke really. And then you get them low, you hit a Q, and you go for the kill with Ignite. Pretty cheese, but it works really well.
Yeah, right. You didn't have anything AD specific shiny, or ADs are sort of untouched?
ADs are pretty much the same. Nothing much really changes there. If anything, you might see Lily more often, like in the bot lane with support role. But in terms of AD carries, it's pretty much just the standard stuff. You might see some new AD carries come up at like MSI, like how Kindred AD carry might even pop up because it's just being buffed constantly. And you know what they say, like when champions get buffed in the jungle, they're usually much better in like the solo lanes or bot lane. Like Lee Sin, for example, struggling in the jungle, you got some buffs, but now he's even stronger in the solo lane. So I feel like that might be the case of Kindred as like AD carry or even a solo lane Kindred.
Yeah, could be. I forgot to ask Sparky what his pick for the patch was, but do you think he'd say Xerath shiny after talking with him yesterday for the scrim?
It's kind of hard to read Tyker's mind and what he likes and what he doesn't like. Like next fight, he'd probably just be like, "Yeah, man, Ash support I think is really good, guys." But I think he did like the Zero app. He had some
Did
pretty
he
good
end up
games
getting
on
to
it.
play it?
Yeah, he
He
played
did,
it.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I think he'd say Zerath. He seemed excited to be able to play that one. So, moving on. Chez have been permabanned from BSV. I don't think an official statement has been given yet, but I mean, we know their history with probably excessive shit talking leading on to bullying and harassment. Did anyone have any thoughts on the Chez ban?
I think that it's totally fine to like bring up in-game stuff, like emote during the games. You know, say GG easy, like whatever, right? Like I feel like that doesn't matter. Who cares? But when you bring it to like a personal level, regardless of whether it's online or whether it's in person or it's in voice or it's in text or it's just a comment on like something that you've made, I think it's like really bad. Like that kind of stuff can affect people in different ways. Like you never know, and I think that you just really shouldn't do like anything like that to anyone else. Like there's no reason for it. You don't know the guy. You don't know the person. Just leave it alone. Stick to like in-game banter or whatever, but like bullying is just so wrong.
Yeah. Um, Personally, I'm all for like I I don't know if there's a rule against it, but I feel like you'd get a warning from the admins if you were shit talking in game. Personally, I'm all for shit talking in game. Um, like I was that 12-year-old on Xbox Live saying that I'm gonna fuck your mum and shit.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Same.
obviously there is a line that I don't think people should cross. Like someone told me to KYS in a scrim yesterday, and I'm not keen on scrimming those guys again. Yeah, I think it's hard to say, but yeah, there definitely is a line that you shouldn't cross. Bringing up in-game stuff like this guy's trash, etc. I feel like that should probably be allowed in tournaments. Maybe not the I fuck your mom stuff, etc.
Yeah,
And
it's just competitive,
especially
right?
like bringing that shit like outside of the game as well, or like targeting the one person outside of the game over and over. That's too far. That's actually bullying at that point, which I
Yeah,
think had happened in a few instances with Chez.
yeah, and that's why I think like the ban was just like justified, because if it gets to that point and you're just bringing up personal shit all the time, basically just on the verge of bullying these people, then like you don't have a place in the community to participate anymore. Like you forfeit that right when you start doing shit like that.
Yeah. Anyone else have any thoughts on the topic before we move on?
Well,
So hoping you were gonna
um,
say something.
were you?
Yeah, this is pop off, bro. This is where you go ham.
I've been told to rein it in.
No, you can
No,
say
no,
you
no.
can say
No,
whatever
say
you
whatever you-
want.
Say whatever you want, bro.
Okay.
That's
We're not gonna
law.
censor guests. We just censor ourselves sometimes for the guests because we don't want to heat on people. But yeah, you can say
Yeah.
whatever you
Ah.
want.
Say whatever you want, bro.
So,
We're the cool kids band to go. They're not gonna touch us.
Jesus. I hate that.
Yeah.
Well, my main issue, right, and everyone knows me as I'm the guy who's gonna talk shit about you before the game, during the game, after the game. Win or lose, you're trash, basically, right? And I'd always kept it in game. It had never gone personal or beyond the game. And then randomly they just started attacking, the appearance, right? Which is a bit, it's fucked up, right? Especially when the history with them wasn't that, like, that much. Apart from me telling them they were wasting my time when they entered me in a fucking playoff game intentionally, I had no issues with them. And then, people of the community started to, attack me in DMs and on my YouTube content. There was all that kind of stuff. Originally, when I sent the message to a BSV admin, Chez denied that person was even in their organization until the screenshot, proved that he had like the admin role on their Discord, which kind of means, he's not only in the org, but he's high up in the org. But the funniest thing, right, is they removed the mid laner, who arguably was one of the most stable players. As much shit as I give Bucking, he's not in the top 3 of mids, but he can hold mid laners. Whereas you then, you brought in a Smurf, right, who was arguably plat 4 and shit, but he was still ineligible to play. But they just didn't have the same success because the guy was like a fucking roller coaster. Up, down, inting, carrying. And in single elim brackets, you don't really want those from players. Because one week you're going to be flying high, the next week you're going to be fucking first rounded by, Bronze League or, Blackhawk or any number of those teams. So I think at the end of the day, right, they got what they deserved. And it's just hilarious the way that they went out. They went out fucking losing with a Smurf. Can't write it better, right?
True.
That's my rant. We're not gonna go deeper into that.
Fair enough. Yeah. You can definitely tell when someone doesn't take what you say as banter, like when it goes beyond banter. Like if I call Shiney like a gangly gingerhead cunt or something, he probably wouldn't care. But like I'm not gonna just go and like say shit to some like random opponent. Like yeah. I don't know. You can definitely tell when you've crossed the line, and especially if someone's like literally telling you that you're crossing the line and complaining about your shit, then yeah, it's time to fucking stop.
No.
Uh,
I mean, hey, wait. One last thing, right? Because you kind of just brought this up. As I was thinking about it, I had many issues with other people in the community, but once they saw, the type of shit that Chez was doing, they actually all backed me, right? Like I had issues with. I'm a name drop him. Alias and I weren't the best of friends. Still rocky nowadays, right? We don't tend to play with each other in league, but he had my back on it. When before that, we weren't friends. We weren't even acquaintances. It was you don't talk to me, I don't talk to you kind of deal. The same when it came to like people like Mayhem and even Chicks to a degree, right? We're not the best of friends, but even if people who don't like me feel that other people have crossed the line, that's usually a very good indicator that someone's crossed the line.
yeah.
That's my final point on that.
Alright. Well, so we recently had some of the BSV admin team leave. I think they might have even been like head admins at the time. So the reasons that I've heard is because there's a bit of discourse among the staff team, and that those people felt like they weren't being heard. What do you like? Everyone here is like sort of admin at a point, right?
Except
Uh,
for Shiny.
yeah, except for Shiny. Shiny's been a shoutcaster. Let's close stuff. Uh, what are your thoughts on like what makes a tournament org successful?
You need a. Sorry, go.
No, it's all right. I feel like it's communication between parties, whether that's your community, whether that's your admin team, no matter who it is. If you can't effectively communicate, with your admin team and actually feel like you are being heard with the changes you want to implement, and then getting constructive feedback on those changes, there's no way that your org is going to function. It doesn't matter whether that's a tournament org, whether that's an esports org, whether that's your local fucking soccer club. If you can't communicate, you're not going to have an effective organization.
Yeah. Envy? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's kind of the people at the top, right? If you surround yourself with yes men, right, then nothing's ever gonna happen. You don't have anyone who will willingly tell you your idea is shit, right? Unless obviously it's coming from outside of the tournament team, which in theory that person shouldn't even know about it. I don't know. It's a very hard topic because all communities are different, right? So the community at ECB was different to the one at BSV, right? Because it's a different kind of player base based on the different rules that were, eligible, which allowed certain people to play in some events but not others. So that's where people start to, like a moth to a light, right? They start resonating to that server. But it's in terms of the, let's say the head admin's leaving and whatnot, it's very hard to know without the actual inside information because, saying you're not being heard is one thing, but, are they not being heard on some small, little thing and it's kind of just tipped them over the edge, or is it, something massive? Because I've been involved in, we're going to use the word dictatorships, right? And those are fucking awful because it honestly is the fact that you're not being heard. It's my way or the highway, and because I have ownership, you don't have ownership. You do as I say or get the fuck out, and that's where you just end up packing your shit up and leaving. So if that's the reason why they've left, I 100% understand that.
Yeah, well, there's definitely like different places for different leadership styles. Like, say, shot calling in League of Legends. You don't really want to have like a full-on discussion of what you need to do right that moment, right? It's better just someone call it and you guys listen to that person. But then, like after the game, you definitely want feedback from everyone. Uh, with the case with BSV, I don't think everything needs to be made immediately. I think they should be like talking and discussing with each other more. Uh, I'd say one thing that a successful tournament org needs is competent people in their role.
Yeah.
Say there's two builders, Bob and Greg. Say I like Bob and I dislike Greg, like their personalities, etc. But Bob builds houses from straw and Greg builds houses from bricks, right? So I'm going to get Greg to build my house, not Bob, because I want a house of bricks and not straw. Even if I dislike the person, I'm going to go with like the better person for the job. And I think you need admins that can do their job well, and the community, I believe, would echo this. I don't dislike any of the admins in BSV on a personal level, but I don't think some of them fulfill their roles as well as they should. And I think the community feels this as well.
Yeah, and also touching on that leadership styles, I'll openly say yes, I'm in the Navy, and that the hierarchical structure that we've got and the leadership styles that should be implemented at certain times are actually really well implemented in like military situations. But it's like that those styles, those leadership styles, and the structure can also just be transferred over to anywhere. And I don't feel that that's happening over at BSV.
I definitely feel like, uh, like in the tournament scene at least, like BSV do have a hierarchy, I still think that people at the top should be listening to people at the bottom, right? If they like give
Yeah.
a valid point on something. Yeah, having staff that listen to each other is definitely important. Having staff that listens to the community as well and doesn't shut down their feedback is also pretty important.
One like small little tangent, right? Just because we're in a tangent-y kind of mood. So in the past, right? Because I was on the BSV staff team going back, we'll say maybe a year ago, if not, a little bit longer. Plus the original BSV when it came in. It is when you're at the top, right, and you try and delegate things to people, right? So like a head of tournaments, that's probably the most successful role that they have. But like a head of casters, head of content, and all that. When one of those head of departments don't do anything, right? So let's say, for instance, you delegate all of the content stuff to someone, but they don't do a single thing. You, as the owner, kind of have to step in. And I think over the years, it's happened too many times, so they've just tightened the reins, right? That way they know stuff is getting done, which, based on people not doing their jobs properly previously, that's why it's ended up the way it has.
I want to hop on to like the lack of community input a bit more. This isn't aimed just at BSV stuff. It's aimed at like the community overall. I think that not enough people are willing to publicly state their opinions on changes or the state of things. Like there's a team rep chat in BSV, and I'm pretty sure like half the people on there haven't sent a message at all. I think even if you don't have like a role like the team representative role, you should be able to give your thoughts in like the general chats, whether it be positive or negative. Obviously, flaming individuals is like a bit too far, but like constructive criticism, so like the community can improve, right? Because that's the goal for things to improve. Secondly, to the admins, I think if you're asking for feedback, you probably shouldn't be shutting down multiple people's feedback when they provide it, which I have also seen in the team representative chat. Yeah, I think open dialogue is good and healthy, and you can't ask for feedback and turn around and say someone else said the exact opposite and I like their opinion better, so fuck off, basically.
Or I like the person, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they're right.
Yeah, exactly. I think everyone's opinions matter equally, and you want to find like what the majority think, right? Because that's your audience.
Yeah.
I think I've set it off like on how 20s need to run, and I think people already know like my opinion, but I suppose just to be like quick on it, you need to listen to your community, 100%. If they say something isn't working, then you need to analyze why and not just like tell them, yeah, no, this is how we're gonna do it. And at the same time, you can't pick and choose feedback like you're saying as well. Like you have to listen to all of it. So yeah, like at the same time, you're not gonna please everyone, but you should aim for a majority, or at least try and do something that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's kind of all I'll say on that.
And when I say you should listen to like all the feedback, I don't mean like listening to people who openly flame, like are openly flaming someone or like the org in general chat. But like I think if someone gives their opinion on like a certain situation or how to improve a situation, then like that should be valid.
I think some of those kind of talks, right, should be done in a DM kind of setting. I'm not saying if it is a topic of discussion and heaps of people are giving their opinions in the general chat, then you don't really like shut them down, right? As other orgs have done in the past, which kind of just makes it worse. But if you're if it's only you and you want to give your opinion, maybe chuck one of the upper management like a DM, right? Explain why you feel that way. It'll probably come across better than in a public setting.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, they openly asked for feedback in the team rep channel, right? And then one of the admins, after someone gave their opinion on something, the admin said something like, "I had people say the exact opposite of you, so I don't really understand your opinion or don't respect your
Yeah.
opinion," or some shit like that.
Yeah,
it's just
I also saw that.
it's not constructive. Alright, well, moving on. BSV have announced a ladder. Do we want to touch on this first? What are your thoughts on the ladder?
Ooh, the ladder. When was that announcement?
Okay, it was like earlier this week, or yeah, probably earlier this week because it came out after I posted the initial notes to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having a ladder is cool. Shiny, if you have it, go check their announcements and click on the link, okay? I think having a ladder is good. The way that they're doing it with the 3 divisions, I'm not sure how. I don't think I'm in favor of it overall.
You don't want, players like Jacob playing in I2P?
If the team was balanced, yeah. Like, I don't think you can have like a D4 or D3 and then like a bunch of high plats or something. You know what I mean? I think
Come
if
on,
it was
man.
like a D3, a low gold and plats, it might be more balanced.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. I think if they did like an iron to gold and iron to plat and a plat to diamond division, it would be easier to place people. I'm also not a fan of how the admins themselves are like the ones picking where each team goes, and like they haven't said what criteria they're basing it off.
I'm okay with that. I'll be in I2Gold. I'll just sit back in my chair.
Do you think that
Vibing.
they would put you iron to gold? Because I'll touch on this later, but I feel like they consider you a plat player.
Nah. Everyone calls me shit. It's fine. You don't get to call me shit and then, you get to play an I2P.
I don't think you're a plat player personally, Envy. Otherwise,
Okay,
you would be
Jet.
platinum. Uh, but yeah, we can touch on that later. Also the thing, I think it said first 3 weeks, the admins can move you from divisions. I think that's fucked up as well. Like if
Yeah,
you
that's
get
pretty
Yeah,
weird.
because then they could just decide, oh shit, we made a mistake.
yeah, and like how do you say that like 5 wins in Iron to Gold equals 5 wins in Iron to Plat? What if you have 5 wins in Iron to Gold, they move you to Iron to Plat, and you're like at the top of the leaderboard already? How's that fair to the other teams in Iron to Plat, and how's that fair to you if you're like suddenly versing harder competition and you're like a full gold team or some shit?
Just beat them.
Yeah, I
True.
suppose.
I
Ideally.
always find that part like extremely stupid. If you get promoted to platinum as like a winning team, nine to gold, right? Let's say you get to iron to plat and you get knocked out first round. It's like, well, that kind of sucked because our skill level isn't plat, you know. So it's just hard to play like that.
Can I bring up an analogy real quick?
Yeah.
So, we're all boomers except for Pixie, right? We've all been around for the eons.
I'm older than you.
He's talking about in Iron to Gold, Iron to Plat, etc. I think.
Bruh.
Now, you guys all remember Griff playing Iron to Gold, right?
Yeah.
That was fucking horrible for everybody else.
Yeah.
But over time, right? Everybody else improved because Griff was playing. So if let me
Yeah, continue.
You can see where I'm going with this, right? Let's say a Iron to Gold team was promoted into Iron to Plat. Even if at the time they might not be ready, playing into the better competition over time, they will grow in skill and improve. And then next thing you know, they might be middle of the pack Iron to Plat team instead of at the bottom.
You have to consider, right? Like, it's not an Iron to Gold team going from Iron to Gold to Iron to Plat. If they do it the way that they've proposed, it could be like an Iron to Gold team going to Iron to Diamond.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
would then be fun.
If you're versing players at like too high of a skill level, like if you go and verse a full challenger team and get smacked in 10 minutes, you're not going to learn anything. I don't think. If you
Hey.
verse like people slightly better than you, sure. But yeah, and I don't know, maybe you know more on the Griff thing than I do, since I didn't actually play into him. But I don't know if people actually have improved playing into Griff.
Well,
Like maybe
well,
maybe you personally did. I don't know your thoughts on it, but yeah.
I mean, you guys remember me as that like silver 3 Malzahar one trick, right? Like playing into Griff, I used to get my shit kicked in on the daily, right? But as you start playing into him, he punishes you for mistakes, and then you slowly don't make those mistakes again, or like you make them a lot less often, so he can punish you for less, and then over time you start matching him better. The first time I ever defeated Griff in an Iron to Gold game was because Bang Bang ran it down on him. But I had, like Card and Lunar Gem and stuff on the S69. But I played a lot better in that game than the first time I played into him, We learned.
Fair enough. Any other thoughts, guys, on the ladder?
Yeah, I think that you can't make it open the way that they've decided to do it, especially if they're just gonna get like their staff team to balance the teams. Like, yeah, there's a lot of potential for that to go really badly.
Yeah. I don't even like. I'm all for like. I love the idea of a ladder. I'd love to play in a ladder personally. I don't know if our team plans to sign up at this point or not. But yeah, personally not a fan of how it's
mean-
been announced at the moment.
Yeah, it's very, very vague, right? Like, but if you do decide to play, I'll chuck them a sneaky fiver to put you into Diamond Plus.
Okay, let's go. I, I I don't know if the rest of my team agrees, but personally, I'd be fine like going into. I think we could compete somewhat. Like, I think we could improve to compete in an iron an Iron to Plat. Like last time, most of our Alpha roster played the Iron to Plat ladder or whatever. I think we came sixth. I think we could improve on that this time if it's like actually Iron to Plat. If there's Diamond players involved, I think it'd be a bit harder, and I don't know if I'd be keen to play.
Having diamonds in it is just going to fuck with everybody, right? And it will turn out into who can stack the most of the players without tipping it over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it'll be exactly. Yeah, because you could have whoever you want, right? So you could have like one challenger player on like a team of bronze players, and then like one of two things happens, right? The challenger player carries in like Division 1 against diamonds, or all the bronze players just have like zero fun getting shit on the whole time while the challenger player can't carry, and like either scenario is just unfun.
Yeah.
So like I feel like you just shouldn't open yourselves up to like possibilities like that. That's why divisions works the way that it does at the moment. I don't think you need to introduce anything new and reinvent the wheel. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the previous formats of ladders, right? Iron to Plat players, Diamond 4 last season or whatever the fuck the rule is nowadays. And the same for Iron to Gold, Plat 4 or below.
Yeah.
But when you start introducing, the Clash type system, which Clash itself is mad flawed. Because I've seen I've seen some Gold 4 players in Tier 1, and it's like, oh, true, that Gold 1 player should be able to go match those diamonds, you know? When, in theory, they're just going to get they're going to get slapped around, they're going to be less motivated to come back and play, and that's just not very enjoyable to people.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Like, could you imagine, and this has happened on streams before, if somehow in the Iron to Plat ladder, right, on the BSV stream is the first seed versus, we'll say the sixth seed, right? Now, the first seed went undefeated, and the sixth seed is like middle of the pack, you know, they're afloat, but they're not really floating. And those games are done in like 20 minutes a game. Who the fuck's going to tune in to watch that? It's not going to be entertaining to play. Obviously, if you're winning, it's going to be hugely entertaining. If you're losing, it's not entertaining, and it'll be very boring to watch and cast.
Yeah.
So I just think a hard cap needs to be done.
You know, I agree. Any other thoughts on the ladder before we move on to the rules? Nope. Okay, well, with the ladder announcement, they also did an announcement to say that they'd be updating their rules. I don't know if anyone else has looked at them yet. So there's three main rules that I personally have a problem with. Let's start with players who have won Iron to Plat may not participate in Iron to Gold for at least 2 months from their last win. So all of us here can be affected, right?
No, some, not all.
You've played for Sonic Boom.
Yeah, I'm talking about the elephant in the room, the top player.
Which one?
Well, you don't think I'd smash around platinum players, bro? I used to
No.
shoot Diamond Smurfs and I had to gold all the time,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm not really worried.
You've
Okay,
won
you're
an
talking
Iron to
about
Plat
VP.
before as well, haven't you, Limit?
I have not, but I
Oh.
would.
Okay. Wait, you haven't been on our roster for like any of the BSPs or TMGs?
Oh, I've been on the roster, but I didn't play. I've been getting
Okay.
the like Battlefire rewards
Doesn't
for
count.
it, though. Like,
Fair enough, dude.
I got so many fucking loot boxes, man. Like,
Yo, loot box opening stream win.
I don't think that would be very interesting, honestly. So never.
Alright, well, do you guys think that just because a player happens to win Iron to Plat, that they're automatically too good for Iron to Gold?
No.
No
No.
way.
5v5 is so much different, bro. Like I think a bunch of people have made this argument already, but I'm gonna make it again anyways, just because I think it's important that people understand. In 5v5, like communication is the only real thing that matters above all else. Like you can have like mechanically individually good players, and you can have like great macro or whatever, but like if none of you guys can communicate that to the rest of those people on your team, then you're just 5 individually good players playing by yourselves. Whereas you're playing against like a collective unit of maybe individually worse players, but like it doesn't matter because they're doing everything together. Like the game isn't designed like it used to be in like season 2, where you could just fucking pick jacks, split push top, and just run to the inhib, speed run the game, and then just go next, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
just shin it. So it doesn't matter how good like your individual players are, if you have a unit of people playing against you, then you are having a significantly harder time winning. And yeah, I just think it would be more possible than not, I would say, for that kind of stuff to happen. So I feel like having that kind of rule is just a little bit stupid, and I don't think they've thought it through very well. And it might be the way in which they try to like gatekeep Iron to Golds a bit to keep it, I suppose, competitive for the teams that like haven't been playing together for ages and don't scrim and don't practice and just sort of want to play League on easy mode. But I don't think that that's like in the competitive spirit of what the events are supposed to be for anyway.
Yeah.
So that makes me like just misunderstand it even less.
I have an issue with this, right? I'm gonna jump in here. I'm assuming you'll finish your point, yeah?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
When it comes to, you know, players being too good for Iron to Gold, right? Because this is pretty much what is trying to target, right? The players who play in Iron to Plat and can win Iron to Plat while being in gold. If you look back at the most recent, the reason why this all sparked together, right? It was WKW Alpha, Pixie, Jep, Nova, myself, and Sparky winning an Iron to Plat event. And that Iron to Plat event had no TNS, right? Because TNS were banned at this point. And we had banished drafting for us. And so what ended up happening is you have Sonic Boom who are troll drafting, thinking that they can play whatever they want into worse players and get away with it. Whereas we're drafting standard meta comps and we just put them down because our comp is just fundamentally better than this. Does that mean if we play them another 10 times, we're going to win majority of the games? No, because in theory, they should be better individually than us. As a team on the night, we played better than them.
Yeah.
And it was the same with any other team we played in the event. Does that mean for fucking 8 weeks we can't play Iron to Gold? It
Absolutely, it does. Yes.
Yeah.
Too good.
Well,
Can't play.
I can't speak for Nova and yourself, but like, my win rate, at least into Sonic Boom, is fucking abysmal. I'm pretty sure that's like maybe the second game I've ever won against them out of like double-digit games played over like ages. I don't think like that I'm a player of their caliber. I think that we just played better on the day. I also don't know if we were the reason that sparked this rule, but the week after, when one of the admins says they're gonna have to give us some bad news if we win, I feel like they were going to enforce this rule on us before it was announced, or like, yeah, I don't know. That's fucking sketchy to me. I don't like that. Fuck that
It's a good
shit.
thing they didn't do that then, because that would have created a whole other set of issues.
Well, that it's dealing in bad faith, right?
But I
Like,
agree. I think that is, yeah.
We
I don't know
even...
what others like think about that here, but I think that that's pretty unethical.
I mean, it was kind of just unfortunate that week, because that week we played extremely well in Iron to Gold. We won that as well, so I think that also helped them come to that decision. But the decision, just based off essentially 1 week of result, is not indicative of the entire scene.
Yeah, I even went and got our stats from Iron to Gold this year.
Yeah.
So
kind
what?
of
There's been
abysmal.
16 Iron to Gold events so far this year. I've played 12 and won 3. G-Bear's played 12 and won 4. Sparky's played 6 and won 4. Shiny's played 7, won 3. Pixie's played 7 and won 3. So,
Yo, what's my win rate?
like, Sparky has like a fucking 75% win rate or whatever, but like, and even you guys have like almost 50%. G-Bear and I's win rate is, what's that, 20? 30, or 33% or some shit like that. I don't think we're the problem with Iron to Gold. I don't think... I'd consider us one of the top teams. Like, we won the last ladder, etc. I don't think that we're by far the top team. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't consider us the Sonic Boom of Iron to Plat even. Definitely not the TNS of Iron to Plat.
I mean, they're also looking at the team itself, right, as it being the same players. When in the Iron to Plat you had Nova playing mid lane, who, as much as I give him shit, when he does turn it on, he can play it into Plat players, right? And
Nova's a beast, bro.
Yeah, Nova popped off that week, honestly.
all I had to do was just fucking sit bot lane and not die. And then we get to the team fights and we do stuff, And I'm very good at that in an Iron to Plat scene. I did it back on Ardor Violet all those months ago. Just don't enter the lane, get to the team fights, do what you can, auto attack them, And does that mean we are too good?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way too good.
Too good?
like even the weeks, like I'm sure it's happened before. I'm almost positive I've seen it happen where like a free agent team will win Iron to Plat. What if there's like a silver or gold player on there? Are we saying that they're too good as well? Like the free agent team this week that made it to finals, they didn't win, sure, but they have like a gold 4 player on there that I've never heard of before. So I can't comment too much on him specifically, but if he's like a genuine gold 4 player and he ended up winning Iron Plat. Actually, no, this dude's silver 1. If this is the right
That's
OP.
what I mean, dude. Like, how can you just not let these people play?
Yeah, he's silver 1 with like 240 games played in silver.
I mean,
you can't say
yeah.
like that this man is a platinum player if he won the top
Yeah.
20.
It's I don't know, my like this is if I want them to like hear like one thing about this topic from me at least, it's you look like if you're looking to target specific players, right? You're gonna end up shooting other players in the foot from the fucking recoil, which will end up ruining the scene more than getting rid of those players who you deem shouldn't play Iron to Gold, right? Because for every one of those you get rid of, you're gonna get rid of fucking 6 or 7 players who should be playing Iron to Gold.
Yeah.
And the scene's already not what it used to be.
Yeah, like participation numbers are down from what they were a year ago or whatever, aren't they?
Well, they were rocking like 30 teams at one point
Yeah,
every night.
exactly. And it feels like tournament orgs in general are bringing in more and more rules. Do you guys agree with that at least?
Say that
Yeah.
again. Are you
That
coming
orgs are bringing in more and more rules for their like Iron to Gold, Iron to Plat events.
Yeah, I think it's like not as necessary. I think the main issue that is plaguing these events is people smurfing. And if you can just
Yes.
have systems and staff trained and people able and willing to like catch these people, because a lot of them aren't that smart. Like you can see shit like obviously. You know, I sometimes have a look and like I go through events like you guys have played it for example, and I was like, who you played against? And I have a look at the team and I'm like, well that guy's a smurf. Good luck. You know, but like I don't, if I can notice that, then surely they can as well. So it's either they don't like they're not doing anything about it, or they just don't know how to like find that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
I think that's like the main issue. Like I think getting rid of people who are like perfectly eligible, making it so that people who were diamond like 5 years ago can't play or whatever the fuck it was. I think it was 2 years
Nah,
ago.
fuck you guys.
Diamond. Like, who cares if you were diamond 2 years ago? If you're like not if you aren't gapping people in Iron to Golds, then as far as I'm concerned, you're an Iron to Gold player. Like, I don't care if you were diamond 2 years ago. If you're playing like shit now, then I guess you're shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
and the thing is though as well, like, a lot of the reasonably like competitive teams wouldn't have an issue against people like that, because like I said, like it's all about communication, right? I feel like
Yeah.
they're trying to cater too much to this like
The new gen.
I really didn't want to fucking say new gen. I hate that term, but like I guess it is though, right? It's like the newer
Yeah.
people who are coming in who see like these people like
Who-
absolutely gapping them, and they don't understand why. And the reason is it's because you know we've played together for like 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, communication's pretty good, and like a lot of the stuff that doesn't even need to be said, it just happens. And when you're
Yeah.
playing against a team like that, like naturally, yeah, you're gonna get shit on. But that doesn't mean that that team isn't like eligible to play Iron to Golds anymore. Just
No,
because
it
they
just
can do
means you
that.
need to get good, right? Like,
Well, that's right. It should encourage improvement rather than like just create even more
Yeah.
stop gaps to like get people in. Like, yeah,
can I again, this might be like my 5th tangent of the night, right? But that's what I'm here for, right? I'm the guy who's just gonna flame people without flaming people and dropping tangents. So I was called the problem in Iron to Gold about a month ago.
Really?
Yeah. So I had Connor and Sherry on my team, right? Now I'm a huge smartass, and because they are both eligible by the rulebook, right? Regardless that they used to be diamond if you don't want them playing, fix your goddamn rules. And that's always been my way when it comes to players. If the player's eligible, there's nothing we can do about it. If they're actually smurfing, then that's a different story. We lost second round to a team, and before that had, I was talking shit, right? I was like, haha, I have 2 ex-Diamond players, right? Knowing Sherry's kind of washed, and Connor was off-rolling. Now, this new gen player, who I will not name in fear of my own life, right? Because he might come at me. The first thing he said was, how come you get to use him when I couldn't use him a couple of weeks ago? To me, that is less... How do I word this? He's not mad that he's playing, right? He is mad that he couldn't play before but can play now. Like, for someone else.
Yeah.
And then, so, like, the last bit of my tangent, right, is afterwards, right, after, giving me you are the problem in Iron to Gold, it's people like you who are using ex-Diamond players. That man went and got a Season 9 Plat 2 mid laner to play on his team, so he ended Season 9 Plat 2, Plat 4 Season 10, and is now, like, vibing in, like, gold something. Even though there were, in the past, the same thing with Shuri, right? People call him out for him admitting he's gonna sit Plat 4 so he can play under gold. I had heard that this player was gonna do the same thing at one point. And so I just find that if the double standard's funny. And there's my last tangent of the night.
I think if people are admitting that in like a public Discord or whatever, then I don't think they should be able to play.
No.
Personally, I don't like Shuri. I don't like the Stormwolves organization. Like, our team has a history with both of them. I don't think Shuri plays at a diamond level currently. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think if you want to like actively play at a higher rank level, you need to have an account of that level. I don't like whether he intentionally demoted or not. If he did intentionally demote and like he's admitting that or whatever, then sure, ban him. But I don't think like if someone drops from high plat or diamond or whatever to gold that they're like at that diamond level anymore. Cavi ex-challenger, right?
Oh, here we go.
Ex-challenger player. He's not a fucking challenger player right now, okay? Same with like an ex-pro like Bunny Fufu who like sits in platinum or like fucking.
He's just
like,
vibing.
Yeah.
It's easy to make content in platinum.
Yeah, like fuck the current rank reflects the current skill level unless it is someone that's actually smurfing and has a different account, in which the case teach admins how to smurf check people. The processes have been changed over the years. G-Bear on the admin team definitely knows how to do it. I don't know much about the other admins, but like Gatorade, what's the other dude's name? Explicit, I think is his name. And I don't know who else is on the admin team. Like, they seem competent, and I'm sure G-Bear could like teach them how to do it if they don't already know. And I've DM'd Josh recently my opinion on like how to prevent smurfing even further. But yeah, I don't think sandbagging is the issue. I think smurfing is the issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, if people are admitting that they're intentionally this rank or whatever, joke or not, go ahead and ban them. Like, Alias did a joke about being platinum and you banned him, so...
He got unbanned after like 2 weeks apparently. It was meant to be like 3 months.
Oh, dude, fucking... Alright, my tangent now. TNS, fucking banned for 3 months, they're allowed to play this open ladder shit, that's fucked up.
Yeah, I think that's retarded.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
You banned them for Smurfy, but you gotta still let them play at events. Like that doesn't make sense to me. If they're banned for 3 months, they're banned for 3 months.
And maybe when they get caught for smurfing like 4 more times, they'll actually follow through with like a van length or some shit. I
Like,
don't know.
at that point, it indicates like bias, right?
I know that
Vigi,
some of the admins are friends with people on their team. Personally, like I've spoken to Vigi and he seems like a nice guy, but like these people are like smurfing multiple times in events.
Yeah,
And
they're just
you're
exactly.
you're not punishing them. You're letting them play an event that they're eligible in now, when you like should be using this opportunity as a punishment so they don't go through and smurf again.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. You right?
Yeah, what were we talking about before, right? The sandbagging shit, the default rule.
The rules, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
the diamond thing.
Any more thoughts on that rule specifically, you guys?
No, I think I've said everything that I wanted to say about.
Isn't there also the one that you can't have been plat in the last like 2 seasons?
Yeah, well, that's what I was
That's
gonna move on to next. This one affects like our team specifically anyway, so take what I say with a grain of salt if you wish. But yeah, same
Fuck you,
thing that
Pixie.
I've said before. If you're gonna play at a higher rank, you have to be at that rank on like another account. I don't think if you were plat 4 last season, it matters for this season. I don't think the skill gap between Gold 1 and plat 4 is all that big. I think if someone is gold, let them play.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the skill gap between Gold 1 and Plat 4 is literally a win streak, right? Like, you got a win streak, you got into promos, you won your promos, now you're Plat. But you are no better than a Gold 1 player, and a Gold 1 player is, like, no worse than a Plat 4 player. Like, you are the exact same. And I've never had an issue playing against anyone who's, like, Plat 4 with, like, 600 games. Like, it doesn't matter. You know, if you could climb in Plat, that's a different story. But
Yeah.
if you are, like, Plat 4, and you don't get anywhere further than that, then I don't see why it matters. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm all for this rule because this kneecaps pretty much any competition for me,
Yeah, exactly. You just
and I can go make a
gotta win
super
every
team
event.
with some gold players. Me and
Yeah.
Paddy against the world.
Could use Hirogi, I guess.
Yeah, he's
That
never
account's
hit.
eligible, isn't it?
That's his main account.
Yeah.
So Smash Game,
True.
they're both eligible.
I agree.
But okay, another example, like an example not on our team. Stormwolves players, right? Will and fuck, what's the other dude's name? Will and someone else hit plat last year in preseason or whatever.
Orphans,
Like,
was it?
yeah,
Well,
like
it was in preseason, but I don't think it counts.
I mean, the plat 4 this, like plat 4 peak this season can't play either, can they? I'd assume
I don't
not,
think so.
right?
Well, I don't think it's this season
Well,
because preseason doesn't show up anywhere.
They did bring up the like plat
okay, but wait,
preseason
how are you
thing
gonna
there,
say that like
specifically
plat
for
4
the
last
tournament.
season isn't okay, plat 4 this season isn't okay, but plat 4 preseason is okay?
Because no one gives a fucking preseason.
It makes so much
Okay.
sense.
So they climb. Yeah, I don't get it.
Mate, I'm just saying, right? Because if we're going in the actual season itself, right? That's why last season and this season would count, but it's in between seasons.
Okay, well, my point anyway, do you think that those people are plat players? Because I don't. I
You flip a coin, right?
don't. I don't know, man. Yeah, I think the rules are bad. I don't think they asked for the. Well, I know they didn't ask for the community's opinion on them.
Fuck no.
Same goes with like the I and the plat corresponding rules for this. D4, P1, same thing, except yeah, D4 you get to sit on that 0 LP without demoting, even if you go on like a 10 loss streak or whatever. Anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys have anything else to say on these?
Um. But yeah, being serious about it. If you get rid of anyone who's been plat in the last, I'm referring this back to Iron to Gold because I don't really pay too much attention about Iron to Plat. Then, even like looking at even like the top like 10 teams, right? Like when there were like more than 10 teams, you're at least hitting at least one or two of their players. Like Bronze League, back when the roster was like Taco Shuriken, Creamy, and all those blokes. That's both Taco Shuriken and Creamy gone. It's just the skill level in Iron to Gold is going to be so much worse, and it will show.
Yeah, I don't know. If it was me, I'd just go Plat 3 peak last season, can't play. Same with Plat 3 this season. I think if like someone promoted to P4 halfway through the season and demoted back, then they're probably fine. But yeah, main issue smurfing, raise the level cap, and yeah, weed out the smurfs, make them not want to play.
The level cap is. I had a look at the rules on the Google spreadsheet for it, right? It's 75. That's still way too low.
Yeah.
It should be like 150 or some shit.
At least over 100.
50.
Well, the
That's
example I used before is Sparky, right? Because he just doesn't fucking play the game.
Yeah.
He's like 265. I don't know, like how many legit players are like below level 200. Like if you guys
Yeah,
go
you
into
can
your
even make it
friends
200,
list,
yeah.
even I don't know. I feel like it should be raised more than it is for sure.
Yeah, but if you get banned, well, I mean, you shouldn't have got perm banned, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do? Like, just make allowances because you can't control yourself in fucking solo queue? Like,
One of
no.
the things that they should do, right, is that they should make it at least 100. Because if you were to go out and buy like what level fucking 30 account or some shit, it'd be cheap, right?
Yeah, it's like
Compare a level
$2.
30 account to a level 100 account. It's a bit more money, isn't it?
Oh, you wouldn't.
I
you
don't think
wouldn't
they
buy.
sell level
Yeah.
100 accounts unless it's
You
like
wouldn't-
already
yeah.
ranked or whatever.
Yeah, you wouldn't buy a level 100 account. You'd buy a level 30 account and then you'd level it up. So what people are doing is buying like a level 30 account, for example, and then just buy XP boosts and level up to 70 or 5 or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be. Like what we're saying is you should just make it like 200 level, like 150, 200, 250, whatever, right? Like make it higher, because then you will only get legitimate players. Like no one who's like level 100 legitimately on their only account is even at a level close enough to be competitive
Yeah.
in these kind of events, right? They just haven't played long enough. Like the game's really hard. It's very in depth. There's a lot to know.
It'd be so much easier for the admin team to actually crack down on like Smurfs, because there are so many like level what? What's our level at the moment? Is that level 50 or 60 or some shit?
It's I think it's 65 or something.
60, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Something
60
like
at the moment, and they're raising it to 75.
Yeah, no, it should be at least 100, because that way, the people who want to like do the Smurfing would have to put a lot of money into it, right?
A lot
It's
more
really-
effort.
Yeah, it's a lot more effort, way more money involved for them, and they still get banned out for it, right? And if they don't want to do that, they go into like a friend's account or some shit, and 9 out of 10 times it's so much easier to detect when someone's on like a friend's account, right? You can see that the summoners have changed, the battle fly doesn't add up and shit like that, and it makes it easier for the admins, right? I feel like that's how they should do it. Is raise the cap, and it makes the admin's life so much easier. They just make it hard for themselves. So, like every year they do this shit, and it's just like, oh fucking, he's level 65. Is he like a sus account? We don't know. Like, yes, motherfucker, it is a sus account. You don't see the battle fight is like created today. All this shit is like,
Yeah.
it's infuriating because it keeps happening, and they're just not doing anything about it. And when they do something about it, they don't have like the backbone of like the admin team to fucking stand up for it. Or like the other times when they do like a rule, it's the most stupidest fucking rule that makes no sense. And every rule that, like, for example, LLC, TMG, BSV, all these tournament people have like the shittest rules, right? Because they don't talk to their community about whether this is a good rule or a bad rule. And when they release it, it's like, holy fuck, man, why is this rule so bad? Did you not talk to anyone who plays in your tournaments? Yeah,
Yeah.
that would suck.
I definitely would like to see like some effort made from the admins to ask the community before they implement changes. And like with complete respect to the admins, like they take their time out of like the day to do this shit, right? It's a volunteer position, they're not paid. We say this shit because we want the events and the community as a whole to improve. It would take a bit of effort. I think if you want to find out like the level that you should make the rule as precise as possible, go back through like some of your recent events, some of your old events where like you got good participation numbers, and have a look at like the current level of everyone's accounts on there. Make a list and see like who's the lowest level, and just like base the rule off that. Because I definitely feel it would be a lot higher than 75, maybe even higher than 100. Yeah, you'd have to go back and actually have a look. Any other thoughts on the rules, guys?
Well, Eldridge is nearly level 400. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, well, I think some of us are like 300s and stuff as well. I wouldn't be surprised because like most of the people that play these events play League regularly. Even if it's not ranked like the admins would like us to play, we play normals, we play flex, ARAMs, whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is, right? Like, if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, I like BSV. They're like the last tournament org standing. The other ones have pretty much died out and are doing pretty below average than normal. BSV just need to like pull ahead and just like think, use their brains, and make sure there's no fucking loopholes. Because every time something gets like a new rule gets made, there's always a loophole, and like no one really thinks about it, and it's just annoying for everyone for like a long time.
Yeah.
Well, even as like someone that was on the BSV staff team at one point before I flamed them and got kicked,
BSV scum fights. Or what?
I didn't. Okay. Look, yeah, I haven't always been on the best terms with them. I apologize for what I said at the time, but yeah, when I was on the team, I like tried to point out some of their loopholes, and like it's not like I was all that close with Josh or like any like head people at the time. So
I was there.
yeah, like I posted in their tournament chat or whatever it was, the loophole, and I was like, should probably look at this to change it. I might have even said what they should change it to. And I think it just like got covered in like meme conversation about people's day, etc. So if the Discord hasn't changed, it might be hard for the admins to make a change.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when someone has to man up and take charge.
I mean, I'm tempted to apply for like the admin team for BSV and just be like, look, you see this? This is stupid. Fix this. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about your day or whatever that's going on. We're here to make the tournament run smoothly
Holy
without
shit,
any
Shiny.
loopholes. Just fucking
Yeah, no,
get it done.
he is 100% right. Like, what the fuck are you doing talking about your day in like an admin chat, bro? Like, who gives a shit?
What would be
You guys are there to like do an event and make it run well. Like, if you want to talk about your day, you got another chat for that. But
Yeah, exactly
fuck
it. The fucking team staff chat for like the tournament stuff. It should be strictly for tournament stuff, right? We should have these dedicated channels for like these other things. Like,
I mean,
right?
we shouldn't assume that that's how it works. Like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that it probably doesn't work like that now. But
Yeah.
I just I'm speaking from experience as well. Like with ECB, like the staff chat in there was an absolute fucking cesspit. Like just
Yeah.
the amount of garbage that people would post in there just made it impossible to fucking organize anything. And like that was just down to like Kusho being an absolute autist, but
yeah.
and then I suppose other people just kind of enabling it and having
Yeah.
fun with it, I guess. But yeah, like I don't know, it was just a really annoying situation to have to deal with. And I think that if you're trying to run an organization and you're trying to have conversations with people and pass information on, then like you really need like a clear channel of communication to do that
Yeah.
in. So yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, I would be surprised if they had like just like one chat where everyone was just dumping stuff in still. Like I don't think that's normal.
Yeah, but I mean, it goes back to like what I said before about like the admins leaving. Like text channels aside, these people approached um other admins in the org about certain things, and I guess they weren't listened to. Yeah, those admins just felt like their opinions weren't being heard, so they left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's a big loss as well, the people that did leave, because I had conversations with those people and I actually kind of felt like they would be the kinds of people that would be able to bring in some of the good changes and also be willing to like just straight up say when stuff was like not going how it was meant to go.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like they wouldn't be scared of feedback or like, you know, anything negative. They'd take it on the chin and go, yeah, all right, fair enough, or then maybe we'll fix it. But I feel like them leaving indicates to me that the people that remain aren't like that. And
No.
like I'm not saying that about Chex or Josh or any of the admins specifically. Just like maybe as a collective whole, like potentially there's like a gap there where just the feedback just isn't getting through. Like maybe it's like a communication thing. Maybe it's just like, I don't know, you guys have different opinions, or maybe you know something we don't. Like we don't know unless you tell us. So like all we can say is what we can see.
Yeah.
And what we can see is that like there are some things that will not work. So yeah, unless you know something we don't, like it's not gonna work, and I think you should change it.
yeah. Not having to dig at anyone in particular, but I think the loss of Hentes and Prometheus were like that's a pretty big loss to the staff team. I think they both like did good work. Like I don't know about Hentes's like actual Smurf checking procedures and stuff, but I've been told that he did a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and like Prom to me always seemed approachable, and he was even ready to come on Pisslo at one point before personal matters arrived, like just before we started recording, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't know. I've made my own feedback form. If people watch this and they want to give any feedback to BSV, positive or negative, whether like you completely agree with what we've said or completely disagree, voice your opinion in the link below. Uh, list your Discord name as well, please, so I can like contact people and make sure that it's like actually like the people doing the applications and not like someone randomly linking Envy's name and saying toxic shit.
Why would it
or
have to be mine?
something. But yeah, I want to make sure that the responses are genuine. I won't question you on whatever you type in there. If admins feel uncomfortable providing their name, I'll DM a few like admins of BSV and they can give their anonymous feedback on things somehow. But yeah, I definitely would like to see some things changed. I think we've covered most of it. Anything else, fellas?
Well, I'm about to annoy you all, right? Because you know
Okay.
how you said in this, these general chats are full of like cesspits and whatnot. There's a funny story about when I was in the management of BSV. I was at this meeting, right, and like everybody was there. So like you're looking at like 25 people. Me and a couple other people went on mute and we just watched 13 Reasons Why during the entire meeting.
Okay.
All right,
Just
so
kind of-
that's a problem.
Yeah. It was wait, watching 13 Reasons Why or the fact that we weren't listening to the meeting?
probably the bit that you weren't listening to the meeting, I'd imagine.
We listen to the important stuff. You know, there's something to do with t-shirts.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
But yeah, again, like, I do respect BSV and the admin team for putting on these tournaments consistently. Like, there's a reason they don't have any competition at the moment, because the job is one that, like, not many people want to do. It isn't necessarily hard work or a lot of work, and they could be doing things better, but they still do take the time each week to do the work. Yeah, I don't know. I think if there was competition, then BSV might pick up their game, so it's sort of a shame that there isn't. Like, for example,
Rift Republic.
I wasn't going to say that one because people get annoyed, but like when ECB started up, TMG decided that they didn't want to compete at all. They closed down for a period, and now they've started up. It still doesn't seem like they're doing things too well.
They're still pretty much closed.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of a shame. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else you guys want to say, or are we leaving it here for the week?
I just want to say that Rift Republic was objectively the best org that's ever existed, aside from Sumsock. And if you guys want to learn about how you guys should run tourneys, then you should look at what we did there and analyze it. And maybe if you're lucky, I'll come in and do a keynote speech for you one day.
Oh, keynote speech.
If Rift Republic were so good, they'd still be around.
Yeah, true.
He's kind of not wrong.
True.
Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Hope you all have a good one, and we'll catch you later. Be sure to click the link below and give us your feedback on BSV.
Make sure you follow twitch.tv/envious of me for your daily League of Legends gameplay updates.
It's more like every second week nowadays.
Daily.